Hello, I'm Diana Drager, and this is my gorgeous granddaughter, Norah. We are going to do some lilies in a vase today, and it's going to just be so great. First of all, we started with choosing a vase. I just looked around the kitchen and found some vases. Norah chose this pink depression glass, and I chose pottery, handmade pottery vase, and we're discarding this cool blue one for now, our charcoal. It works really well, but we're just gonna do these. So I already added my preservative. I filled the vase with water. Norah is going to add the preservative. I'm going to use a knife because I'm a knife girl, and Norah's gonna use this little awesome clipper, bunch cutter. And yeah, just dump it all in there, and then we'll swirl it around. Beautiful. We have a box behind us to put garbage in, but we'll see. And most of it will land on the floor, which is okay because you can just sweep it up. It's no big deal, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So we are using my absolute favorite flower on the planet, Oriental lilies. They smell so good. And my little soapbox thing, all lilies, Oriental lilies have a different scent. Every color has a different scent. So don't judge a book by its cover. Every color smells differently. Some have kind of a funky and unusual scent, but it's still cool. But some are just divine and fabulous. So like this one is just really cool. So anyway, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna show Norah's some of the ins and outs and the proper ways to kind of deal with stems of flowers. I inspect the stem first, and I decide that maybe a leaf has kind of a brown tip or something, so I take it off because we don't want the leaves to downgrade the look of the arrangement. So I like to do lilies. The bigger flowers look best when they're towards the bottom of the vase. If I had the stems all sticking up high, it would look really goofy because there'd be all this empty space. So I'm going to use a knife. Always cut at an angle, because then if the stem hits the bottom of the vase, the angled cut allows water to go up. If it's flat, it could make like a suction on the bottom of the vase, and then water wouldn't be allowed to go in. So I'm going to make a cut and put the first stem in. So there's just the first stem. So now Norah can choose her first stem. Do you want to choose that one?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show, so some of the leaves on there aren't great. But look at that lily, isn't it beautiful?
This one better now.
That's okay. Some of the little ones can go if they're a little bit droopy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And where do you think we should cut it? A couple of those little ones, maybe that this one can come off and this one, because they'll probably get yellow or something before the rest of the flowers.
Maybe like.
So if you look at having the big flowers at the kind of the top of the vase, here I'll slide yours over a little bit.
Maybe like right here, maybe.
And you can always cut again. If you cut it too long, then you can always cut it shorter. If you cut it too short, well then it's too short. But
yeah, maybe like.
so try that. And use the clipper. And see how and cut it at an angle. Perfect. So put it in there and then we'll see. And we'll think, oh, that's a little too long. So we'll cut a little more off. And that's okay.
More?
Maybe just a little bit more. Another, maybe a little more. Try that. Let's see. Because we can always put ones lower. Okay. All right, so I'll take my next stem. We're going to mix two colors. The burgundy ones, I'm not sure of the exact variety. Sorry about that. The burgundy ones are pretty spectacular, and then I have some of a lighter pink that are not as great, but they'll fill in and look nice. So I'm going to do another big burgundy stem. And again, I'm going to, because this one, the big flower is facing that way, I'm going to face this one this way, and then we'll turn it around and show you. There we go. Two stems. Okay, now Norah's two stems. Oh, and then I'm going to show Norah a little something that I usually do with lilies. The anthers, we have stamens, piston, anthers. The anthers, when left and on the stem or on the flower, will get fuzzy and kind of stain, and if you touch them with your clothes, they stain a little bit. So I usually remove those. They're pretty for taking stylized photos and things like that, but for designing, we usually take those out. So, and they just pull right off.
Even the middle thing?
The middle thing you can leave. Yeah, just those little, see, they pull right off. Is everybody else good?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
perfect.
these leaves are pretty good.
And check your leaves. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you kind of figure out how long you want it to be.
So maybe just like
Probably a little more. Probably up to there.
yeah.
She's got that angle thing. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to do a stem of pink too to just mix it up. I'm going to stick it kind of up in the middle here. It's going to be just a minor, play a minor role. Okay, so you've got, we've got anthers again. So Nora's going to pull those off.
I've gotten stained by these a few times.
Yeah. So it's a good idea to take them off as soon as the flower opens, because then they're not fuzzy yet. Well, we can clean up after, honey. It's no worries. They're so gorgeous. Oh, she's learning. She's doing all the right things. We're having a Grandma Dee Dee and Norah weekend. So we've done shopping and nails by Jennifer. Oh, Tim, maybe pull in on the nails. Put your nails up. Nails by Jennifer. I'll give her information later. She's the best.
Think these leaves are good?
And we went to see a movie. So we've done so much fun stuff. Well, you can take that one off. It's a little floppy. Okay. And where do you think you want to put it?
I want it maybe facing like that way.
Okay. Yeah, and then this flower out that way. So this one's like the lowest to the.
And take that one.
There you go.
So maybe.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. That is perfect. Yeah, maybe, yeah, do this one so it, there, turns that way. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn mine around. I'm going to add another stem of these pink ones that are not as open and fabulous,
Yes.
but they're still pretty.
These ones are
Okay. Remove a couple leaves. And lilies last crazy long too.
good. Really?
By putting the preservative in the water, it's a bactericide, so it keeps the bacteria down and it feeds the flowers so that they open. The water does not need to be changed every day.
Well,
That's kind of icky, so I would take that off. So put the preservative in, just add water every day, and then after a few days, a number of days, 3, 4, 5 days, then dump it all out and change the water so it's nice and clean. And at that point, you wouldn't have to add more preservative because it's already in there.
So I kind of want this one to be like in between these.
Perfect. Good eye. I love it. Yeah. Perfect. Good eye. This one we still might have to cut down a
Yeah.
little bit, but we'll see. I'm going to add this gorgeous stem.
That's better.
If you have fresh lilies in a vase, you will have them for
Right.
easily 2 weeks.
Hey, why is this thing like?
Every stem will open. Yeah, that's called the piston, and I should remember all of my biology stuff, but
This one can maybe go like this way.
yeah, be good.
And then
So here's a
these
stem.
ones.
All of these buds will open. That's pretty fabulous. Okay.
And maybe we could add just like one more of the other color.
Would you like, you mean another burgundy one?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Let's see. This girl,
Maybe this one.
the big one?
I don't know.
Well, maybe this one. Yeah. And I'm gonna do another pink just to break it up a little bit.
These are all junior. Should we leave these two leaves on?
I would take that one off. It's kind of droopy.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have an eye, Miss Nora. It's
Perfect.
beautiful. It really is. Look at this.
So pretty.
This 11-year-old darling. Look what she just did. Beautiful. Now, would you like to add greens to yours?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have
Here's a
some eucalyptus. Pretty pretty. So I'll let you, what I usually do with this, we won't need that much, but we'll cut a bunch of pieces that are a nice long length. Now we'll talk about that a little bit. Okay, we don't need a lot. You just put, we're gonna put greens around it, yeah? You got it, sister. Put greens around the bottom part. Okay. So Nora, what you do with the greenery, like we don't want all this part in the water, so we're just gonna slide your hand down and don't worry if we make a mess, because we'll just clean it up after.
So these ones.
Yeah, so we'll just tear those leaves off the bottom.
This is fun.
And then this one, you could probably cut the stem down a little bit, but what you're gonna aim for, we'll show this way, is having the foliage come down around the edges of the vase, like here. So this one you might wanna cut a little bit shorter and then go for it. And I thought, because I have this rustic pitcher, I would try adding, just for real effect, I love this, some.
Like this?
Perfect. Okay, let's you'll make sure the stem is in the water. I usually keep the water filled up pretty high, so if you have stems that don't go down very far, they're still in water. So I'm gonna add some fresh dogwood to mine. Adding height to a design just immediately increases the visual impact. Doesn't have to add a lot of expense or anything, but just the height can just do amazing things.
This one's like really bright.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. That'll be awesome. How's it going?
Yeah.
So take the stem and cut the pieces off that fit the size and the look. I want to make it kind of full and I'll show a little bit. And maybe a couple more. Pepper. This little bunch cutter it's so easy to use to cut little branches and curly willow and dogwood and things like that. So I'm gonna add a few more. And I think, I'll see what Nora's opinion is, but maybe mine doesn't need greens.
This is pretty.
Look what the branches do.
This one's too.
Takes it from this to this. And how are the greens going over here?
Good.
Lovely. See, it adds a whole nother dimension. Just slipping them in underneath the flowers.
two more.
Some right here. Right in front there.
And then the last one in the middle one.
Oh, maybe right here. Look at that. Beautiful, Nora. Okay, y'all, look at this. Look at this. What do you think, Nora?
I like it.
Voila. And voila.
Yours is giving like winter spring vibes.
Winter spring vibes. That is good. That's really true. And the branches will have little greens on, so they'll start to kind of leaf out. So it'll develop as each day goes on. And yours will too, because all the buds will open. Fabulous. Thank you, and like and subscribe and all that jazz. Share, like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. Thank you, Norah.